Hey everyone, hope that you're doing fantastic. If you're new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Go check out the welcome video that I did earlier today, just welcoming all of the new subscribers that have just blossomed in the last week and a half. Sometimes I'll just jump. I'm pretty spontaneous on this channel, so those of you who have been with me through my process, you know that I could quit this video and jump on 5 seconds later. So I just try to, listen to what the Spirit wants me to do. And I had sat down after doing that welcome video. Excuse me for just a second, that was just kind of bothering me. And had bought this new deck of cards. It's the Golden Wheel Tarot deck here. And I just opened it up to just kind of do some studying and stuff like that. And just to enhance this channel, and just to get another perspective. And I love this card deck, but it opened to the Devil card. And the devil, I talk a lot about the devil energy on this channel. When we do see it, I'll bring up that every time I see the devil card, it's for our testing. And the devil, that's the only reason why the devil shows up around you and I in situations for us to attack a thing. And it's there because it's some kind of karmic activity coming back, because it's Saturn energy. It's very hard energy. Saturn rules over our skeletal system, and we have to have that structure about us, and in a very spiritual way. But Saturn energy is everything that can be sensual and tasted, and you can look at, and you can feel, and you can touch. And we all have temptation, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. You're not exempt from that. None of us are. But I was reading what the book said about this card here, which is the devil card here, and I had never heard this story before. It's so I'm just going to read out the book because it really is a great perspective of how we are responsible for the activity that is showing up around us, how we're going to show up in that thing. Because there are, like I said, trolls out there, and people are sent our way on purpose because of things that we sowed in our wild oats years ago, and so then we get tested, within all that kind of stuff. But I want to read here that it states captivity, and we know that the devil wants to chain us and restrain us and give us all kinds of seductive kind of whatever, whether it be food, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, or just anger, or anything like that. That is all that negative activity all rolled up within the devil energy. At the same time, if you and I pass the test of those kind of energies that want to show up between us and the situation and everything else, Saturn energy will bring a blessing if we resist all that kind of stuff. But I want to read what this says in the book. It says, according to the old Slavic legend, on the night of the marriage of the water and the sun, the one who finds the magic flower of the fern will be granted full knowledge of everything in the world. He will be able to see the treasures underground, to read the thoughts of other people, and will gain power over evil spirits. And it says, but this magical flower is guarded by an evil force, and the one who tries to abduct it from the forest awaits a terrible trial. Okay? It says, enraged spirits will drive him mad. Alright? It will drive him mad and will send horrible visions that can kill if the brave man turns around and looks at them. This card tells us that our souls are killed by consuming passions. Hopefully that's in the screen. Our souls are killed by consuming passions, burning desires, pride, and self-destructive desires to achieve at all costs. They are like evil spirits that haunt us. Ambition and vanity, base instincts, the desire to become better than others, are entangled as if by a network of your mind, which overshadows your visions and leads to destruction. In order to free yourself from this trap, listen to the voice of reason, and you will be saved from the captivity of your passions. And it is important for you and I to pass tests, because the devil energy does want to enslave you and I, and that comes in so many different ways and shapes and forms, like I said, through on your job, family issues. Money gets in the way a lot, and if you and I don't stand up against that, we can get in pride and vanity and narcissistic behaviors and things like that. It's dangerous, really, because all it takes is one little seed to water over and over, and the thing just gets bigger and bigger, and then you really do have great big chains. We find ourselves not able to break free from the captivity of that energy. But that I just wanted to share that. That card didn't come out or anything. I wasn't doing any kind of card reading. I just picked up the book and it just opened it, and it just it's just a good reminder. We all know that. We all know when temptation is around, but a lot of times when temptation comes around us, temptation can be really, really hard to push up against, but it's just a good reminder to know that this energy, if you give into it, we get enslaved and we find ourselves in captivity, but at the same time, the devil energy is here to teach us a thing, and once we get the victory over it, we get all the blessing at the end, because the Saturn energy rules over those 5, or co-rules with the 4 fixed signs, and rules over the 10th house, which will take you to luxury. It will get you to the world card at the end of the Fool's journey, right? And the fixed signs within Saturn that it co-rules is Leo energy. That's about our heart being front stage. It's about family and our emotions and romance and all that kind of stuff. And we can find ourselves being really tempted within those things. Then we've got the Aquarian energy, and that's about knowing something. We do know better. We do know. But oftentimes we just get this sensual stuff on the inside, and we're just like, I'm just going to go with it. And really, we need to restrain ourselves and use that energy of restraint, not to be restrained, but to have the self-control on the inside to restrain ourselves from getting in that bondage. So that Aquarian energy is found there every time the devil energy shows up, because it's all connected. And all of us have this energy within us, some way, shape, form. It's there to test us, right? And the thing about the Aquarian energy, it is ruled by Uranus, which is considered the father of Saturn. So right there, you've got generational things that are passed down through you and I that we must put under our feet, per se. And then we've got the Scorpio energy found also within the Saturn world card energy that we must overcome and achieve, and that's death-like energy, things that can be hidden that need to come to the surface so that we can just face it, right in front of our face and go, okay, I got to deal with this, or it's going to sting me in the end. It'll create something for me if I don't take care of it, because that's Scorpio energy. The motto of that 8th house is I create. What are we creating? Are we creating more bad chain-like karmic activity, or are we breaking those chains and taking that Scorpio energy and bringing a thing up to the surface and facing it? And then what's the 4th? And then, of course, Capricorn, it rules over that house, the 10th house. And what is the last 4th, 5th sign? Oh, Taurus energy. And that's really, really grounded energy as well. And that is stubbornness in the negative, but it also is very, very prosperous energy, because it is connected with Venus, and that's also deals with your job situation, your health, your organizations, governments, institutions, and things like that. So we got all those 5 things with just connected to Saturn energy on our everyday life that can pop up in any way, shape, or form around you and I. And so it's important that what did this say? That these burning desires and pride and this self-destructive activity around us, that we get it under control. We get it under control. And here's the deal. If you do have a mistake, nip it in the bud right then and there. Go back to, if you have a blow up, you got to start somewhere, right? If you're used to just blowing up in anger or something like that, but today you got a wake up call about something. Because like I said, that Aquarian energy on the inside of us, we know the way we are. We do. At our core, when you lay your head down at night on your bed, the things and the thoughts that are inside of you that you deal with. Maybe you don't always open up, but maybe there's something that now has occurred inside of you, and you want to begin to walk in a way like you've never walked before. It takes time, and Saturn energy is connected to time. It's the pentacles, right? And But just like losing weight, you know, it takes time. We don't just get to go through the drive-thru and say, hey, I want 50 pounds off today. Wouldn't that be nice? But a lot of times we just get crazy in our mind thinking that, oh, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and everything. And everything can be different, but at the same time we will be tested within a thing when we make up our mind, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. Okay. You wake up, you feel refreshed, and here comes that Saturn energy to test you to see if you really meant what you meant. And you and I have that all day long, like I said, every day, all day long. But if you are somebody who has been bound and you've signed some type of contracts that got you bound in things, and now you're just like, I got to figure out a way out of this or whatever, connect with the divine. The divine will give you some downloads to help you process whatever needs to be processed in your life, to help you get on that course. And like I said, in your testing process, even if you fall down for a minute, make it right then and there. Don't let that seed take root. That's the key. Don't let the seed take the root, because if you do, it'll start growing branches and all kinds of stuff, and then you just got a big old freaking mess and chains all over the place. You never get away from the devil. Right? So I just thought this card was really interesting what the book was saying, and I just want to get on here and talk about it, because it's good for you and I to have that awakening and to see things like that. You know, it's like I said, we know it, but it's nice to be reminded of it so that we can keep it in the forefront of our mind and walk straight, right? And be a witness for somebody else who may be going through addictions and things like that, and help somebody along the way, get them pointed on the right path, so that we do really bring the vibration of our planet up. I've been taken advantage of so bad in the last year. I mean, those of you who have followed my channel, you know that, you know, it's been a battle for me, and people leaving my life and standing there going, what in the hell has happened? You know, it's just a bunch of just a devil energy. It was just, you know, I'm breaking free from things that other people have done to me, and still have a lot of mystery around. You know, I could have got really bitter, and I had moments of being bitter in the process, but at the same time, I got up and said, nope, I don't want these chains. I'd rather be better and fight against those devil energies. And if people want to be disgusting and trolls and steal from you, well then we know that the divine sees that, and they will reap what they sow. There is a cause and effect to everything, and we can just rest in the fact that if we put our mind to wanting to be pure in heart, that the creator of everything will step in right at the right time, because it's in divine timing that people get theirs, you know. That's how graceful the creator really is to you and I. He gives us a space of time to make a thing right, and then if we don't, here comes the karmic activity, and you got to walk through that, and you got to pay a really hard price for it. And it's hard, but if that's the way people have to pay, because they just will be too prideful and stiff in their own way, then, you know, the creator come in and take care of them every time, move them out of the way. And I really hope and believe that I'm right here at the end of all my trials, you know, that people have done towards me. It's really been hard. It's really been testing to stand in a place of love and forgiveness, even in the process of people not talking to me and wondering why. It's been hurtful, but at the same time, I've grown leaps and bounds through it. And so I can at least say, you know, I don't really want to be around those type of people, but I thank them. Not to say thank you for being mean to me, but I'm thankful through the process of them being in my life through that process. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I think you understand what I'm saying. I just wanted to bring this card out here and say, when we see this in a reading, this just allows us to know that it's testing time, and to be aware of that. We had the Judgment card come out, and today, one of the readings today, and it came out on a reading that I did yesterday. Today's September the 4th, 2019. So I don't know when it is you'll be finding this video. But Saturn and Pluto co-rule together, you know, with Scorpio energy, and that's hard energy. It's a frozen energy. Things can just get really frozen on the inside and make us feel like we're chained and stuff like that. But that's also energy of people returning. And so when we know people returning, getting on the horn, right, the Judgment horn, it's that people have had time to really process, and then the creators are saying, okay, well, you guys didn't pass the test last time, I'm going to bring you back together, see how far you've grown. And that's the only reason why that kind of stuff exists for you and I, so that we can pass the test and then go to the next level. And we don't ever get out of it, we're just coming up to the next level. And that's the only reason why the devil shows up on our journey, is to make us better and not bitter, even in the midst of bitter process. Ultimately, it is to bring us to a higher place, so that the devil energies can bring the luxury out for us in the end of it. So, which is the World card. We actually end with Saturn energy. So we find the Saturn energy in the process of the journey, somewhere in the middle, and then it ends with the Saturn. And that's great success when you get the World card at the end, because it's hard, but it's not impossible for you and I to pass those tests. So anyway, I just hopped on here to share that with y'all. Hopefully it was encouraging for you. If you're finding yourself in some kind of addictive behavior, just begin to meditate and connect with the divine, and just take it one moment at a time. You will get through it. And if it's too hard for you to get something under control, and I know it's hard now day and age to trust. I have a really hard time myself trusting people. I don't know who to trust. And so a lot of times I feel like I'm closed off because I've been so hurt. And I just wait on the divine to tell me what I'm supposed to do, because I would step out and go to somebody, but I don't, I've been hurt that bad. And I want to open up, and I want to be able to trust people, even people in authority, but I just don't know at this point what to do except to wait and trust that the divine will work it out. And I know that he is. And if you're finding yourself in situations like I've kind of briefly in general spoke about, just know that if I can make it this far, so can you. All right, the devil can be put under our feet, and you don't have to fear him. If you're standing in your upright, he'll be defeated every time. All right, guys, go about your day. Love and light. Shalom. Perfect peace.